Good afternoon, kings and queens, and welcome to Business Strategies and Tips with Lady L. I am your host, Lady L, of Success Beyond Strategies LLC, building strategies that become successful actions, helping business owners and entrepreneurs take their vision, mission, and purpose, turning them into legal, successful, and profitable business entities. This show is brought to you by the Magnet Exchange Group, a book club, a social club of like minded individuals with a powerful magnetic attraction. Y'all should have been on the show this morning. Ooh, we had a good time. We develop healthy relationships, we help with positive personal development, and we share wisdom and experiences in generational wealth development and wealth preservation. We have been doing a series or segment called Business Empowerment Days of the Week. That's DAYZ, sharing some golden nuggets to get you successfully and victoriously through your week. Yesterday was Fresh Start Monday. Today is Tackle It Tuesday. We're going to go in. We have been doing a power series that we'll be carrying on through last month and majority of going into this month. We are 13 days in September. Oh my gosh. We are well into the fourth quarter of this year. So we are doing some planning and some preparation to make sure that you are assessing your previous quarters of this year, that you are strategizing and putting together the things that you need to make sure that you are okay, that you just check it on my Instagram family, make sure they're still with me. All right. You just got to flow with technology, right? But we are talking about planning and preparation. We want to make sure that you are closing out your 2022 year strong, making sure that you are preparing and that you are putting together the right plans, the right strategies, the right infrastructures to make sure that you can go into 2023, that no matter what the rest of the world is doing and what's going on, you can still maintain, sustain, and grow and make a profitable business entity that much stronger. So, planning and preparation is extremely important. We are going to talk about the fact that planning is deciding in advance what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and who you should be doing it with. Now, we know we could take that in a whole other direction, but if you want to add that to your personal life, please do, because you may need to start there first. Because whatever comes from you pours out into your business, out into your organization, out into your ministry. So, yeah, you may want to do that double checking on that. All right. What planning does, it bridges the gap from where the organization is currently to where it wants to be. When we set together your vision, your mission, your purpose, you set together your goals, your strategies, your infrastructure, you had an idea, you had a direction, you had a visual of where you saw the end result of your business or your organization or your ministry. And you want to make sure that you are closing any gaps that separates you from those original goals and purposes. And some things may have had to been tweaked and changed because the way the industries are going, especially the technological industries, how you may have started out the year and maybe even toward the middle of the year may not be the way you need to end the year, or you need to up the game of how you came into the end toward this end of the year, and make sure that you are finishing strong. Okay, now the planning function involves establishing goals, arranging them in logical, and I'm going to even add the word sequential, meaning some type of succession, some type of going forward in what you are doing, regardless of the detours, the U-turns, and the twists and turns and bends of the road. You always want to make sure you're going forward. So we have one of our kings that says, does it make sense? Does it make sense to you? And are you in a position to execute it? And if it doesn't match those three categories or doesn't pass those three questions, then that's when you need to make sure that you are sitting down and making the right plannings, the right preparations, the right assessments, making sure that you are arranging them in a logical order that makes sense, but also a sequential order so that you're moving forward one step at a time. Preparation is not obsessing about the details. Talk to me, Laverne. Okay? Stop obsessing about the details. You've got to be flexible. Go back to my YouTube channel, Lady Vern, Lady, and scroll through my list. And where we saw the power of flexibility, go back over that show again because you got to be flexible. You have to be bendable. And when I say bendable, I mean flexible in a way that, okay, I wasn't expecting this, but I can bounce back from it because I have some type of strategic system in place. I have some type of strategic plan in place that I can bend and flow as things change, as your industry change, as the demand, as the supply and demand changes. You want to be flexible. The businesses that survived was able to say, all right, we shut down, we got a pandemic, I can't have people come into my establishment, but how can I still service my clients and customers? You have to go. I hate to keep putting out this shameless plug, but there is a reason why systematically God has given me these subjects because now you can reach back and you can keep refreshing yourself. You've got to make sure that you are reassessing, that you are regrouping. Those were some of the power words that we found on this month. So you need to go back and revisit those so that you're making sure you're taking all of this information and moving your business to the next dimension. Let's talk about some types of planning because there's three major types of planning that's pretty standard. One is the operational plan type of planning, tactical type of planning, and then of course your strategic planning. Operational planning is an operational plan that outlines the key objectives and goals of an organization and how to reach them. It is a well crafted document that ensures that all your team members know their prospective responsibilities and have a clear visual understanding of what needs to be done. There's no reason to go to the tactical or the strategic if you don't have your operations in place. If you don't have, and we talked about that at length on some of the previous shows about how to sit down with your service team members and make sure that everybody is clear in their roles and responsibilities, have a clear understanding of the vision, mission, and purpose of your business so that collectively you can make sure that everybody's in place and your business, your organization, and your ministry will operate as a well oiled machine. Now, when you talk about tactical planning, the tactical plan is a written outline of specific actions you're going to take to address a problem or achieve a goal. That's just like the vision that you write down, that's your broad goal, your broad picture. But then your mission statements and your purpose statements give those specific details, those specific outlines as to how they're executed. If you are in network marketing, they have strategic and tactical strategies that when you put these things in that well documented logical order and that you begin to use a flow and develop a system for yourself, those tools are in place because it is an overall system. That's the vision. But when you actually execute the steps that you actually take, that's your mission statement. That's your mission of achieving a certain number of goals or a certain status in your network marketing industry. These are the things that when you get that overall plan, now you start breaking it down into those steps. How do you execute to become the top in your industry, the top in your sales, or whatever it is that you are ultimately looking to achieve? That's what you need to understand, that now you're putting together the tactical actions to make that happen. It could list the tasks that you'll do yourself and the tasks that you will delegate. Please, ma'am, please, sir, because I'm doing it myself. I'm saying, God, I'm believing you for a team of people that I can begin to delegate certain things so that I can focus on the weightier matters. You know, getting scriptural on you here, when the church began to grow so exponentially after the death, burial, resurrection, and ascension of Christ, and Peter and the rest of the apostles was going forth and developing the church. It was so many of the needs became so great. You know, they said, well, you know, let's put together some men, what we call today deacons or elders, depending on your worship structure, and so that they can handle those day-to-day operations, so that we can attend to the core, which was the word of God and the teaching and the spreading of the gospel, so that the main thing can be the main thing. You can't do everything and keep the main thing the main thing. So we're believing God for teams. Amen. Strategic planning. Strategic planning is a process in which an organization's leaders define the vision for the future, identify the organizational's goals and objectives. The process includes establishing the sequence in which those goals should be realized, being realistic in their due dates of accomplishment, so that the organization can reach its stated vision. The strategic plan is usually done in the very beginning of establishing your business, because it spreads out and feeds into the tactical and feeds into the operational. So, making sure that you are putting those things in those sequential orders so that you can have a constant flow of a productive, moving forward business. Planning is a mental work, basically concerned with thinking before doing. It's called critical thinking. You have to critically analyze what to do, how to do it, when to do it, so that when you are actually laying out the blueprint that you are planning to execute, you're making sure that your thoughts are catching up with your writing. You know, that's why we say think to ink. That's why we say write it down and make it plain, because thoughts and ideas are like slippery fish. You think you have that fish in your hand, and if you don't get the right grip between that fish's head and that tail, that fish is going to pop out of your hand. Or if you're using a net, making sure that that net has a closability that can capture that fish to make sure it's not slipping out. Thoughts are the same way. You want to make sure that you are thinking before you're doing, that you're writing it down. You're thinking, you're writing it down, then you're doing or you're executing. It is also an intellectual process that involves creative thinking and imagination. We talked about the power found in imagination. Go back to my shows. Whenever planning is done, all activities are orderly undertaken as per plans rather than on the basis of guesswork. In other words, anticipate some challenges. Anticipate when that coworker or that employee doesn't show up on their shift. And now you have to take someone from the other shift or the previous shift usually, and then sometime you pull back from the shift that's coming in and say, "Can you come in earlier?" Be creative and find a solution to that gap, because that's one of those gaps that you want to fill. Ask yourself, why aren't people coming to work? It could be that they don't have a work ethic. It could be that they don't understand the value of a work ethic or the value of keeping their commitment, keeping their word. When they filled out your application for your business, ministry, or organization, give them the time to read that application. And if you have clauses in that application, meaning your requirements, your job descriptions, your roles and responsibilities, have that part of the interview. You've gone through your initial interview, you're in the process of hiring this person, or you've made a decision to hire this person, and this person has decided to accept your offer. Take the time. I understand that this could be a challenge, but this is what you have a management team for. Instruct your management team to take the time to go over what you expect from them and what you they can expect from you. When you take the time to do that in the beginning, you are securing job stability for your company, your business, your organization, and that person. Especially if you are going to hire our millennials or our younger generation. You need to understand that, because you can't take for granted that they might have been taught these principles at home or at church or in school, because all three of them can be a little elusive. But this is your business. This is your organization. This is your ministry. You need to make sure that you are positioning the right people for the right work, so that you are having a fruitful, productive business organism that will flourish. You don't have time to hire weeds when you can hire good seeds that's going to produce a good harvest. Selah. The advantages of planning. Planning facilitates management by objectives. When you fulfill those objectives, when you have properly positioned people in those objectives, then that facilitates the management overflow of what you're doing. Planning minimizes uncertainties. When you anticipate what could happen, I don't particularly like this term, but I understand the gist of it. The Murphy's Law. It'll happen. Some things will happen, some things won't. But the point is, anticipate some things. Anticipate. That's why you need to understand your industry, because you need to be talking or connecting or getting feedback or information from people who are successfully doing what you're doing in the industry that you're in, and listen to their stories, listen to the ups and downs, the ins and outs that they went through. Whatever you can learn from instruction so that you don't repeat it, learn it, but also gird yourself up to understand there's going to be something unexpected that's going to happen in my business. How am I going to handle the unexpected, especially if it's common among your industry? Planning facilitates coordination. Coordination, balance. How are you going to balance some things out? Planning helps you facilitate that. Planning improves employees' morale. The worst thing you can do is be an unorganized business owner and hire organized people. They are not going to waste their time. They are not going to stay. They do not want to be bothered with the drama. Ask me how I know. I'm one of them. If you got too much drama in your company and in your business, I'm out. I'll find something before I leave, but I'm out. Because where there's confusion, there's every evil work. I'm not B. Okay. Planning helps in achieving economies. You have an economic goal for your business. Planning helps you achieve that. Don't be all nilly-willy. There's bank accounts, there's structures, there's financial tools that you need to have in place, so that you're making sure that you can view your business at any given time and say, okay, I'm running good. I'm running okay. I need to check this. How are you going to know that if you don't have a plan in place to achieve your economic goals? Planning facilitates controlling from the perspective of making sure that what you had set out to do is functioning in the way it should function. If not, you're tweaking and making the adjustments. Planning provides a competitive edge. When you have a competitive edge, it's because you've tapped into innovation and creativity deeply. You're always making something that will capture your customers' and clients' attention. You're making sure that you are thoroughly meeting the needs of your clients and customers that will make them want to come back, and not only come back, but tell other people about your businesses, your products and your services, and refer other people and give you good feedback on your social media. So that is important. Provide that competitive edge. What helps you to stand out in this very common industry that you may be in? What makes you stand out? What makes people say, well, I'm going to go to Laverne's spot versus this spot over here, even though that spot may have a bigger name than Laverne's? Selah. Planning encourages innovation. When you have a system in place, you're able to get rid of the box and be more creative, be more imaginative. Something, put yourself in your customers and your client space. Why would you come to your business? What is it about your business that would make you want to come to it? And if you can't answer that question, then that's when you need to sit down with your strategic plan and see where the gaps are and fill in the gaps and plug in the holes. Thank you so much for joining me today on Business Strategies and Tips, Business Empowerment Days of the Week. The power found in planning and preparation was our power for today. I'd appreciate it if you would leave a comment. Even better, share your takeaways with me from today's show and any of the other shows that you have viewed so that it will help me to help you in your business development journey. So remember, trust your journey. It's okay. Trust the journey. This is not a sprint race, this is a marathon. So trust the journey. Enjoy the journey. Adventurous calling, please answer. Now is the time to take your vision, mission, and purpose, all of your gifts, all of your talents, all of your callings, and work them because that is where your wealth, wholeness of life is buried. And know that you did not wake up today to be mediocre or to operate in mediocrity. So count your blessings and have a wonderful Tackle It Tuesday. Go into this day or the rest of your day. If your morning wasn't what you expected it to be, it's behind you. What are you going to do with right now going forward that when you look at the end of this day, you can say, I tackled it and I won. So bye bye for now.